What is up, guys? Mao here. Smoking a CBD joint. Got some CBD here in Barcelona yesterday. I've been a little sick. Not like actually sick. I don't have a fever. I don't have... What else happens when you're sick? Oh, like a sore throat. I'm not like coughing. But my body has been feeling achy, been feeling weak. Well, actually my throat has like borderline been kind of hurting. This probably isn't helping. Probably not gonna help. But regardless, it's forced me to chill out. I haven't been able to work out. I haven't been able to train for the marathon, which is like a month away. I haven't been able to really fully focus and dive into content, make YouTube videos, really focus for long periods of time on my work because my head just starts hurting and I feel like shit. So it's basically just told me to chill the fuck out, bro. Chill the fuck out and yeah, just take a rest, right? So that's what we need to do sometimes, I guess, is rest. But at the same time, I do feel very, well, it's frustrating, right? Especially when I want to do things, I want to train, I want to feel at my optimal performance, at my peak performance. Also, I don't have any sure income right now. I have income that I am mentally sure that is going to come because I trust in the universe and I know that things are going to play out the way that they need to play out to keep supporting me on my journey. But nothing's for sure right now. I'm relying on people to do things. It's not 100% in my control. Nothing really ever is. I can only do as much as I can. And the rest is up to other people, God, the universe, to give me what I need, to give me what I want and what's meant for me. And I think that this is something a lot of people might struggle with in these situations, to get very anxious, right? Especially right now that I literally just can't do things. My mind feels a little bit scattered when I try to, and ultimately I just need to rest, right? And not gonna lie, I'm starting to feel a little anxious. And I know that this happens because I haven't been working out. And like I said, I just haven't been able to do the things that keep me, that propel me to where I'm trying to go, right? That make me feel aligned every day. So I start to get a little bit anxious, right? But I do feel like I have a pretty good grasp or control or relationship with anxiety. I feel like it's something that's always kind of come naturally to me. I've always been one to just not really worry, not really stress too much. I don't really worry about the future. I don't sit here and ruminate on the past, wishing I could change things. I honestly don't, there's a little bit of side tangent, but I don't really have any regrets. Like, there's people that like regret things, and Why would I regret anything I've ever done? Why would I regret anything in my life? Because I know that what I did at that time was the best that I could do. I was the best version of myself in that moment that I could be. So any decision I made was just what I was supposed to make, and if I hadn't gone through everything I've gone, then I wouldn't be who I am today. So why would you regret anything from your past? Like I said, that was a little bit of a side tangent. The biggest thing that causes anxiety is worrying about the future. And here is something that I have found that I think I do, and something that I subconsciously figured out at a young age that's allowed me to kind of chill in a way, if you want to call it, and just allow things to happen and let things happen and not really stress or get anxious about what's going to happen or what I want to happen or what I think should happen, and kind of go with the flow. So a few things just popped in my mind. The first thing is that from a young age, I realized that everything is temporary. Literally everything's temporary. Nothing's permanent, right? Impermanence. I've talked about this. But I didn't think about it in terms of impermanence before. I literally just thought that I remember. I was like in middle school, and maybe I would get hurt. I used to go to the skating rink a lot. Maybe I would fall, maybe I would get hurt. Maybe I would go through like a little mini freaking middle school breakup, which was so dumb, right? Obviously, but nonetheless, they were real. You felt those emotions. And I don't remember what it was, what events happened, but there was a certain point that I specifically remember thinking, nothing is temporary. Nothing lasts forever. Like, if I hurt myself, eventually it passes, and then you feel normal, and then it's almost like that thing never happened. Like it's gone, like you don't feel the pain anymore, right? Or something really good, you feel like a high, something amazing is happening, but then eventually you come back to the baseline, right? Like that, not even that lasts forever. And it kind of made me like, wow, like nothing lasts forever, nothing bad lasts forever, nothing good lasts forever. That's kind of liberating, right? There's no amount of pain or suffering that you could be in that's going to last forever. So if you're feeling something, just feel it, let it pass, and then it'll be gone, right? Eventually it'll be gone. So it gives you something to almost look forward to, right? Like this will be gone, this will pass. I think that's one thing that I grasped from a young age that kind of made me just relax into life and being like, look, anything bad that happens, nothing actually lasts forever. Pain passes, right? Physical pain, emotional pain, whatever. I think it was more of a physical pain thing that I discovered. That I was like, dude, I can get hurt and then like I'll be fine. It's kind of cool. Another thing that just came to mind recently, like right now while I'm talking, is that I don't have big expectations usually for things. I very often go into things with no expectations. I just kind of start doing something and I'm usually always surprised because I don't, like I said, I don't expect anything. So I'm more often than not surprised by the amazing things that end up happening. They're all amazing because if you have no expectations that anything that happens is just like incredible, right? if you have big expectations, then it's hard to meet those, right? It's hard to match those. So if your expectations are up here for something, for how you think something's gonna work out, and this is what you're worried about, right? This is like, oh my God, I need it to work out like this, need it to work out like this, need it to work out like this, and you let that consume your mind and give you anxiety, right? You're looking at the future, then chances are you're gonna be let down because your expectations are so high. But when you go into things with no expectations and you go, this would be awesome, and I'm starting to do this thing that would be awesome to work out, but I have no idea what's gonna happen. That's it. It could be great, it could not, who knows? I have no idea. And something that comes to mind with this as well is that somebody that I met in Medellin, this girl that I had met, responded to one of my emails last night about this, and she was like, hey, I just read your freedom blueprint, because I had sent it to her. And she said that when she started traveling, she expected it to be how all the influencers make it out to be on Instagram or whatever, or on YouTube. And for her, it was kind of a letdown because she realized that traveling is actually way harder. Like, many times you're alone, and there's so many things you have to deal with that you don't really expect when you start traveling. And I was like, I think that's interesting, because I never went into traveling with any sort of expectation. I really didn't. I just went into traveling with, I want to travel, I want to move to Colombia. That was the first place I went. And literally as soon as I got on the plane, it was incredible. I met Mike, which, if you guys didn't watch my videos, the 54-year-old Daytona champ. He invited us to his finca. Like, it was just like, as soon as I got on the plane, it was just like the most amazing time of my life. I had zero expectations, and as soon as I started doing it, it was just amazing. Exceeded all my expectations because I had none, right? So I think that also helps with not getting anxiety, because you're not putting a big expectation or a big importance of how you think that things should play out. You're just allowing things to happen the way they need to happen. And usually they will be way more amazing than you could ever imagine when you don't go into it with any sort of expectations. And the last thing is that you have to accept and be okay and go into and really feel the worst possible outcome, the worst case scenario, right? So whatever is giving you anxiety, whatever you're so stressed about, whether it's, you know, you getting a job, a certain job, or a business of yours working, or a deal going through, or just, you know, growing on social media, whatever it is you're trying to work on that's giving you anxiety, imagine the worst case scenario. Imagine, what if it all goes to shit? What if it doesn't work out, right? I did this recently with one of my spiritual coach that I hired. And I want things to work out. I want my YouTube to blow up, and I want to start making money with something I launch or by helping people. I want these partnerships that I'm working on to pan out, to go through. And he's like, well, what's the worst case scenario? What if none of this happens? And I'm like, well, I will probably just have to go back to looking for copywriting clients and doing that, right? Yeah, it's gonna suck because that's not really something that I enjoy doing that much, to be honest. I do in certain cases, like working with the right people, but like doing the outreach stuff, like nobody likes doing that, right? It's boring. It sucks. So I'm going to have to find clients and start working for clients, which is ideally not really something I want to do. But that's not that bad. I mean, I know that I could land clients if I really wanted to. So I would just do that. And if that didn't work out, if nothing worked and I just ran out of all the money that I had, then I would just have to go back home to Texas and live with my parents, I guess, right? Until something actually worked. And I was like, and he was like, well, how bad would that be? And I was like, it wouldn't be too bad. They kind of have a dope crib by the river. They just live there. It's like, okay, things aren't that bad, right? Like, life is good. Even if everything goes to shit, like, life is still good. So, from this place, I can create and I can just calmly create the life that I want. I can be like, well, I want this to happen, but I don't need it to happen. I'm not gonna die if it doesn't happen, right? So that makes me feel better. That takes down like some of that anxiety. And funny enough, it's creating from these places that the best things actually happen. Because when you put so much importance on something, when you are like, man, this has to happen, this must work out, otherwise everything, like, my life is over, and you have no plan B, or you haven't faced and come to terms with that thing not happening, and you haven't accepted that as a real possibility, then you're putting way too much importance and you're putting way too many eggs in this one basket, like psychological eggs, like psychic eggs. Like, you're like, this must happen, if not, my whole life is over, right? And you actually end up driving that away. You have a needy energy. You have a repelling energy. Like, you actually repel that away by wanting it so much. It's like being that needy guy that wants that girl so much. Like, she's like, oh, dude, get away from me. Like, you know? Nobody wants that. Nobody, like, wants that person that just fucking is attacking them, right? This goes for things, for goals, for things in your life. Like, reality works the same way. If you put so much importance on something happening and all your psychic energy is going to that thing, then you actually, like, that works against you. You push that thing away. So just relax, right? You have to relax, but you do that by, one, not having expectations. Two, knowing that if something doesn't work out, or if you find yourself in a bad situation, it's not gonna last forever. And three, accepting the worst possible outcome. And once you do that, then you can kind of chill. Right? I'm not saying anxiety is just gonna go away. Like, I'm not saying like I'm immune to anxiety and I'm immune to worrying, right? It's like, deep down, there is that thing if I allow myself to go there and like uncover all these things. And like I said, today I'm feeling a little anxious, also because I've been sick and I haven't been able to do things that I want to do. But it's like, everything is always working out the way it needs to work out. Everything's working out in your favor. So you just kind of accept that, and you know that even if everything goes to shit, you're gonna be okay, and everything's gonna be okay. And that allows you to just be okay, right? In the moment. And just accept whatever's happening and allow what's meant to happen. I think these are the things that I've subconsciously always done that have helped me with anxiety. Where other people are like, dude, I stress all the time. I'm so anxious. And I've never had that much anxiety about the future, about things happening. Because I think I've always just subconsciously known these things. But I understand they don't come that naturally to other people. So, yeah. Try these out. Really try that. Try that meditation of going in really feeling and going into the worst case scenario. Imagine, what if nothing works out the way you want it to? What will you have to do? Where will you be? What's gonna happen? Probably be fine, you know. You probably still have your legs, your limbs, your health, you know. God bless, and hope that we still have our health. But ultimately, like, you will be okay because you always have your perspective. You always have a choice of how you view things. And if you choose to see the good, then everything will always be okay. So, I hope this makes sense. Now, this is a slower talk, a slower rant, because my body, like I said, I'm resting. I just smoked some CBD. I hope it wasn't too boring for you guys. And that's basically it. So, stop stressing and let life surprise you. Live in the moment. Be here now. Enjoy. Look around. Meditate. Be one with yourself and your surroundings and your environment and with nature. And just enjoy life. That is all we can do. And like I said, you always have your perspective. Reality is in your mind. It's all in your mind. So if you believe that you already have everything that you need, then you do. It's that simple. It's that simple. But it's not easy. So yeah, I hope this helps somebody out there that's struggling with anxiety. It's always worrying about the future. Let it go, man. Let it go. Alright, I'm gonna go get a haircut because my hair looks crazy. But much love. Cheers. Talk to y'all soon.